Good fucking morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Proof of Person. Happy fucking Tuesday. Today we have Travis with us, Chief Web4 Officer of MBIO, as our main guest for episode 43. Travis, honored to have you here. Thank you for joining the show. How are you doing today?
Happy fucking episode 43.
Let's go, man. Happy fucking episode. Man, honored to have you here. One of the greatest speakers in Web3. We'll talk a lot about your story, your journey. It feels weird hearing you say 43 after you've done 800 on your podcast, but we'll get there one day. We want to hear all about your experience and everything MBIO today. Very happy to have you here.
I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like step, go into another step, keep going. Yeah, we've been doing Bad Crypto now we're in our 9th season. Yeah. You can't believe that. When we start, we're actually the second longest running crypto podcast in the world. And if it wasn't for Google banning us back in 2017 because we had Coinbase affiliate links in our YouTube videos. Yeah, dude, they hosed us for a while. And they banned us for like 2.5 years until they finally said, "Oh, sorry, whoops."
Unbelievable. But yeah,
like you ban you for that. Okay.
They just ban and ask questions later. We hate to see that. But yeah, you're doing a season per year, right? You started around 2017, I believe. If you say this year 9, yeah, man. Congrats. Yeah, big milestone coming up. I just posted about it. Proof of Person, this show turning 1 first year 4 days ago. So
very nice.
a big gap, but get it there. Yeah, man, appreciate it.
In honor of you drinking a pop, I'm gonna drink some pop.
Nice. It's still 9 a.m. here, so a bit early for a pop, but we'll definitely have one in person eventually.
7 o'clock here because I'm in Dubai, so it's a little different time.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm in Mexico, by the way. I know you from Kansas, so closer from Moreland.
¿Qué pasa, amigo?
¿Qué pasa? Yeah, excited for the World Cup as well. But yeah, pretty much everyone knows you on CT and Web3, but do you mind doing a quick TLDR of who you are, what you do before we jump into everything MB.io?
Sure. I think you're being a little too kind. I don't think everybody knows me. A few people know me, which is good. We're having a good time with this. And so a little background of who I am. I'm a Midwest kid. I'm from Kansas City area. And I saw, you know what? It was when I saw Pong when I was 3, the Atari Pong. Yep. And I remember seeing that thing connected to the back of the TV, and I was looking at it, and I was just like, at age 3, going, dude, technology's going to be big. I can tell. Like, if this thing is connected to the TV and it's doing that, it's going to be amazing. Yeah. And so as a result of my curiosity, school never destroyed my curiosity, which is a lot of times school will destroy your curiosity, but not me. And so I've been early to every internet wave since the beginning, essentially. Web 1, which I call it, Web 0 before Web 1. Web 1 really started, to me, about 1995, right? And so I got online at the University of Kansas with a really good internet. It was a DSL. And it was like, whoa, this is so fast. And so, I built websites. Immediately, the very first time that I was online, I stayed up with the grace of God and the grace of Mountain Dew. I stayed up 36 hours and learned how to build HTML websites and how it all worked because I needed to have my own website. And from there, I was early to SEO. I figured out I need to make my website rank. This was way before Google was even a thought in Larry Page's eye. And paid search with a company called Overture. Overture was then acquired by GoTo, and that was way before Google was doing paid ads. I did social media campaigns on a site called Friendster. way back in the day. So really, I'm a creative technologist, futurist. Really, I'm a professional dot connector. I'm a shit figure outer, is what I call myself. I'm an author as well, but really, it's just I'm very curious, Tiger, and I just like to figure out how things work, and I like to understand it so then I can help other people understand it. And so, what was the catalyst when I got into Web3 was, I saw that Slashdot article about Bitcoin in 2010. And so I put it on my laptop and I mined a block of Bitcoin, and the fan broke and my motherboard melted. And I never got the Bitcoin off of there, but it made sense to me. And I was talking to all my friends. I was like, dude, I was at Symantec at the time. I was a global digital strategist for Symantec, which was Norton antivirus. And I was like talking to all the smartest people. And I was like, dude, what do you think about this? This looks like this could be a way out of the Federal Reserve Bank. And not one of them was like, oh, wow, that could be awesome. And so, I kind of thought it was magical internet money, but I never got that validation. And years later, people were like, hey, man, how come I didn't listen to you? And I'm like,
classic.
hey, man, how come I listened to you? Because I should have myself about 50,000 of these things, but that is life, and here we are. So really, programmable trust, digital ownership, community economics all rolled into one. And so that's Web3, baby.
Love it, man. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you have one of the craziest stories, I'm sure. And surrounding yourself with the right people is such a big factor in growth and in your journey, right? I guess in the States, and well, we see that in Mexico as well, very more local minded and when you come with these ideas, they tell you that you're crazy. And I'm sure that move to Dubai gave you a big boost into getting crazy ideas and maybe others supporting, right?
Well, you got something up on the screen right now, which is one of my sort of crazy ideas.
Yeah.
And so back in the day, in the Web 1 days, I was working with a business partner of mine, Sean Crutcher, and he had this idea, man, we should work to help artists and filmmakers and designers, give them a platform. And so I was like, well, I need to level up my HTML skills. And so we built this thing called Method Laboratories. And really what we built, Tiger, over time became 5 separate billion-dollar industries for other companies, which is really crazy. So we had the music lab, film lab, art lab, the design lab, iRadio lab, and then we had a boutique. And basically, we gave people the ability to have their own web space before Dropbox did. We gave everybody 50 megabytes of space. You could upload songs, upload images. And this was way before Flickr, too, actually. So you could upload anything of those 50 megabytes. And we had something called iRadio Lab, which used Winamp and our own playlist of independent artists that would submit music to us. And so we had a radio that was playing different streams 24 hours a day for like 3 years nonstop. And this was like before iTunes, right? Man. And so this is from Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah. And there's no funding in Kansas City, realistically, right? And so another thing is cool. You see all those different labs that are up there?
Yep. Each
one of those labs was basically a CMS. And so you could click into the back end, you could go methodlab.com/admin, would open up a panel, and you could say, if you click on those individual ones, music lab, you're like, oh, I found a great concert somewhere. I found a great stream. I found a great, article on something. You could literally take the link, upload a photo, give it a headline, and save it. And so this was before WordPress, right? So we had our own custom CMS built. And in the Think Lab, everybody had their own portfolio page. And so you had like your own profile and you could communicate with other people. And so that was before any of the social media sites. And then the final component that we had built was we built something where artists and musicians could send us their logo and we would print and bang out t-shirts for them. So we had our own custom t-shirt business. So we had, that was basically before custom ink or Spreadshirt or any of those. So like we were kind of in this whole world of, wow, look at all these things that we could do. And we were building pieces of them, but it was very hard to get funding and scale from Kansas City, Missouri at the time. We weren't in Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah, you pretty much sound like Mark Zuckerberg, like from the invention side of things. Like I would love to do an interview just about your story.
I'm Mark Brokerberg compared to that guy.
Well, different paths.
I just needed some CIA connections to fund me, so I could have a good business.
Man, but like so curious about how you were getting all these ideas before the actual creations of them. Like you have like an inventor kind of mind, and you can see kind of the future of where things are going.
Well, my buddy Sean, he was a really sharp dude, and in between, so it's really how we always kind of said was like our brains together. It's like if you're by yourself all the time, it's you know, you don't oftentimes have some of these big ideas, but when you're with another big thinker, and I think that's why maybe Steve Jobs and Wozniak worked so well. They kind of converged, and it kind of felt when we were working on this thing, even though it never got big as it could have, it kind of felt like, you know, we would joke it was like, you know, John Lennon and Paul McCartney. We were coming up with some amazing stuff because we were the convergence of that was happening between us. It was like, pow, pow. Oh, what about pa, pa, pa? Oh, man, what about da, 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 pa, pa, pa? So having a good brainstorming buddy, I think, is really important. And now, especially with AI, we have the best brainstorm buddies possible. And so I can sit in a room with Claude or with, you know, Chat GPT or whichever your favorite LLM model is. And ever since I got on, you know, man, I've been on Claude since 2023. I've been on Claude for over 3 years. And, you know, Chat GPT, I found Dolly. When that thing came out, we started building stuff off of that. I was just like, oh my God, and the best brainstorming buddy possible. And you start figuring out how to be a prompt daddy and start teaching it how to work and start telling it, you know, and start working with it and brainstorming. I tell you what, once you start learning how to build with it, it becomes the best thing. And it sort of reminded me of like what it was like working with Sean back in the day, because it was like having that person in the room. And it's not like, you know, having an assistant, because an assistant, you're like, hey, could you go and do this for me? And they would go off, and like a couple of days later, they come back, here it is. It's like, could you do this for me? And like 3 minutes later, it's like, poof, you're like, oh my God, what about this? Da, 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 da. So, man, I tell you what, it's unlike anything ever. And it's kind of a continuation, you know, of where I've been and where we're heading. So that's why I think we're in Web 4 now, is because, you know, Web 4 is we have left Web. We're still in Web 3.
Yep.
Web 1 was you could read. You could go to the website, read a website. Web 2 was you could read it and write. It added that social element to it, right? Web 3 was now you can own these digital assets, right? That's big. Digital assets, Bitcoin. I can own this. Ethereum. NFTs. I can own these. And now we're in the fourth web, because the web can build itself through autonomous intelligence and these agentic economy that's happening. You can literally tell it to do things, program it, and it's out there working on your behalf. So never before has the internet being built by someone other than humans. So this has to be the next version of the web.
It's 100% in time. Yeah. And that delusionality that you had with your buddy now through AI, 24/7, it's a huge advantage and a huge edge for the one that know how to use it, right? So yeah, very excited for the forward web 4 in general on the building era side of things. But yeah, let's connect the dots here a little bit on your story and getting into MBIO. How did you move to Dubai first, and then the MBIO team contacted you? How did that transition happen, and we start into that as well?
Well, that's a good question. So, you know, I've done bad crypto for so long, and I was doing a lot of Twitter spaces with Mario Nawfal, and I think I did 250 maybe of these spaces. And, you know, Multibank had come on several times, and I just had a really good vibe with Zach, the CEO, and with Courtney, the head of compliance, and then Alex, the guy who's in charge of Maverick. And so I was just having conversations with them. And one day I was like, hey, Zach, I sent him a DM. I go, dude, I've seen a lot of these products and these projects, and I've done Bad Crypto, all of these shows we've done. We've literally had over 1,000 hours of conversations with different people. We've interviewed all these people. Multi-bank to me seemed like one of the most interesting opportunities because it's not just crypto. It's not a shit coin. It's literally, traditional finance, TradFi, meeting decentralized finance, meeting a crypto exchange, meeting real world assets, right? So it's like, it's not a fly-by-night operation. So I saw that. I go, man, Zach, if you guys ever need a chief innovation officer or somebody to help out with marketing over there, let me know. And he's like, I happen to know a guy because he's the guy. And he goes, let's chat about it. And then like 6 months later, they literally had a conversation, said, Travis, can you come to Dubai next week? And I was like, what? I was like, no, I cannot. And he goes, well, let's have a conversation. So I met with Zach and met with the chairman, who's his father. And they said, we need you to be here as soon as possible. And so a week and a half later, I was in Dubai and I moved here in November. So great decision.
Crazy. Yeah, so you were watching the Chiefs game, just chilling on your couch, and then the next week you were in Dubai, building.
I was at the AI marketing conference in Cleveland when they messaged me. It's called Macon, MAICON. If you're in marketing and you love AI, you should go to that. Those guys put on a great event, and they messaged me, and I thought it was actually not real because it was the head recruiter. And a lot of times there's this LinkedIn spam that happens where people are trying to reach out to you, and you're like, I don't know if you're real. And he was like, hey, I've chatted with Zach, and Zach said, I need to talk to you. Let's have a car. And I was like, oh, okay. He's talking. Nice. There's no way he would know that I was talking to Zach, most likely. And so he said, let's have a chat. And he sent me from a real email address. And so I was like, okay. You ever have an issue with these people like, yeah, we'd like to interview you for a very important role here. Here's the link. And it's like, oh, sorry, please update your app. And we can install some
malware of software. Yeah, exactly. Or here's my calendar and it's like bugged. Like, oh, thanks.
Yeah. I want to steal all your crypto real quick if I could.
Real quick. Yeah. No, I'm so glad that it worked out and you figured out that it wasn't a scam. And now you're living in Dubai, your best life. How was it with what are you in charge of on a daily basis? I mean, you were always on as a keynote speaker, you were in Ghana, I'm sure. You did the RWA in Dubai. Like, what are you on a day-to-day basis, main responsibilities or priorities these days?
Yeah. Well, really what I'm trying to do here daily is to help translate this complexity of this world into trust. Right, because here we got the background with multi-bank group being around since 2005, and now with the exchange side, it's really how do we navigate all of this stuff that's going on and leverage that into more trust. So we're working on our messaging, we work on partnerships, community, building events, and working on and partnering with events, product feedback loops. We're trying to make the app as great as possible, and really trying to help make Web3, more simple for people to understand, and knowing that it is, it's a priority for us. We're helping bring in people into the crypto world, not so much dealing with the degens. It's like, how do you make it understandable? And how do you make, MBIO known for more than just being an exchange? And how do we utilize AI to help us become more effectively and become that trusted bridge between regulated finance and digital assets? Like, digital assets are not going away. Like, NFTs just began to create, I understand digital asset ownership. NFT is always a weird thing. It was a weird sort of thing, but without NFTs, I don't think you could have real world assets because they're sort of like NFTs. And so it's like knowing, TradFi, DeFi, crypto exchange, RWAs, all of these things are converging, that's just exciting to me. And so I was like, man, if anything, this is what I want to be a part of.
Yeah, no, and before the show today, I was doing a lot of research to understand more of what you do, obviously MBIO, which I've seen you guys around multiple times. But one of the keywords that I was emphasizing on, that I was thinking many times, it was like simpler, faster, more, less friction in general for the user experience and for everything that they can do on the app. and on all the platforms concerning MBIO, which I think you guys are succeeding, and you're still focusing on that, then even better for the experience in general.
Working on it, one day at a time, baby.
Yeah, you guys have on the bio, like MBIO bio, like one of the most regulated platforms, and the simplest as well. For the average user, like what's the main advantage for the regulations and the audits, besides obviously the trust and the confidence, the security that their funds are safe? What other factor is important for them to know?
Well, I would say this is that multi-bank group is sort of the umbrella, and multi-bank group has 4 pillars to it. It has sort of the TradFi side of things and the Forex side of things, right? And that trading. Now the crypto arm with the exchange and building out the real world asset platform. So, that's really what we're trying to do, is utilize our resources and our stance as a heavily regulated multi-bank group. Has 18 plus licenses worldwide, right? And so when you start stacking that stuff, like institutional backed crypto platform trading, the utility of the MBG token, real world assets, all starting to live under one roof, like that's exciting for the Web3 user. For a non-crypto user, we help people access crypto and tokenize the real world assets with that sort of trust, compliance, and infrastructure of a global financial institution. The adults are coming into crypto, right? And as you even see, like what Meta's doing, Meta's paying, creators with USDT now, or USDC, one of the two, right? And you have all of the, think about this. Google and PayPal recently were both talking about the fact that, guess what? The banks are, these AI agents are not going to use banks. AI agents are not going to be KYC compliant. But guess what? They're going to use crypto, and they're going to use stable coins. And so, it's a very exciting time right here. Got Zach right here, CEO. Everything good, brother?
All good.
Right on. Awesome. Very nice. So, it's just a really exciting time. I think that especially as, when you look at all of this and you say, wow, right now there's about $900 trillion worth of worldwide assets. When you're talking real estate, stocks, commodities, crypto, blah, blah, blah. $900 trillion. Crypto's only $2.5 trillion, right? Gold's like $35 trillion. You think all the stocks, however much that is, all the real estate, like we're going to be sitting at over $1 quadrillion worth of, assets worldwide. And those are being tokenized. So what do you think is going to happen when we got a crypto market at 2.5 trillion right now, or whatever it is, 2.6 or whatever the market says today? That's why Bitcoin, in my mind, Bitcoin eventually becomes a couple 100,000, 500,000, even $1 million a token down the road, because all of the stable coins, it's going to be huge. Stable coins are going to be just ginormous. And then people are going to get out of stable coins, get into Bitcoin, and then hopefully some of those other ones, including MBG, can rock and roll over time. And, I think a lot of tokens are going to go away, but the real ones and the real world ones and the ones that have solid institutional backing are going to be the winners. And that's what, frankly, moved me to Dubai.
Yeah, no, super excited. And like tokenization, it's growing insanely fast. Stable coins as well. MBIO again, it's the best of both worlds between a regulated bank and the audits and the licenses, with the benefits of an exchange and the MBG token, RDWA. You guys have so much. And yeah, I was super interested in your opinion on the Meta announcement with. My first question was like, which wallet are they going to use, or if Stripe already had the backend rails to do it?
Right.
But yeah, Stripe has everything settled.
Yeah. Well, Facebook was trying to do the Libra token, and then the government said, no, you can't do it. They wanted to do a stable coin like that. And then from that, then two people, then they left, and Sui was created and Aptos was created from the remnants of the Libre token. And they've gone on and do stuff. So, they've been thinking about it for such a long time, so much so that they renamed Facebook to Meta because of the metaverse, right?
Yeah,
and now they're all in with
failure.
AI, and he's paying everybody in crypto. Well, he's trying to stay relevant, and he's got a couple. I mean, WhatsApp over here in Dubai, everyone uses WhatsApp. A lot of places in the world, everyone's using WhatsApp, and Instagram's huge worldwide. Facebook. I literally forget to check Facebook like months at a time. I go, oh man, my birthday was just on Saturday, and I still haven't gone and checked Facebook. And I know, God, I got to respond. I know I got to respond like hundreds of messages that I like. Meh. So I need my AI bot to go in and be friendly. Hey, talk like me and say kind things to each person who messaged me, please. And that would be good.
Yeah, I was thinking like I'm gonna say happy birthday at the beginning of. I saw Alfredo tweet like 3-4 days ago. That it was your birthday. Happy birthday, man. Hope you had a great time. And yeah, we didn't know about
it. Was so good. It was so good. In fact, a couple of the people on my team organized a huge karaoke party. Shout out to Marvin and shout out to Trish. They ordered a huge karaoke party and 4-hour deal. And through the night, like 30 plus people showed up in and out, all singing karaoke, getting drunk. It was pretty fun. But I tell you what was interesting is that the last time that I had a birthday party was 17 years ago, and it had been a surprise birthday party that I didn't even know I was having because it was a surprise, and I showed up late. And by the time I got there, like almost 2 hours later, they're like, surprise, happy birthday. We got to go. We've been waiting on you for 2 hours.
Oh, damn it.
I'm like, oh.
Gotta put the kids to sleep. Thanks a lot. Yeah, it happens sometimes. But glad you had a karaoke, a good time, and 30 people plus showed up. I haven't done a proper
people from the team. They were all people from the company that showed up, dude. It was really cool.
Nice. Was it at the office?
Building a good culture, getting people excited about it, all working towards the same goals and vision. That's huge, right? Yeah. And so treat people with respect and give people the ability to kind of tap into their own creativity and don't just be barking down what should be done, but give them the ability to come up with ideas of their own. Because, man, there's a lot of people that's really smart that's been working on this stuff, and they have ideas that are different than yours. And so hear them out, That's why I think it's what's important.
I think it's a very big goal in life, like working with people aligned with the vision, that you have fun working with, and that are very smart and committed to the mission. It's a huge plus in the working.
If they hated me, they wouldn't have showed up. I imagine.
For sure. Maybe only Zach.
Maybe if they were forced to. It's a mandatory party for me.
You go or you're fired.
That's good.
MBAO, UAE. The UAE, you're building a rail for AED USD stablecoin. Your thoughts on this? I know this was kind of a hook, or like just to hear people's comments. How excited you guys are in the company? I know your main market is the UAE. Not that much focus on the US, but in terms of this, it's huge news for you guys and what you're building.
Well, it's huge news for the UAE, is honestly, because they're showing the world that, this is what regulated digital money rails can look like, right? I don't like the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies so much, but I think that things like this have potential. So there's a couple coins now. One is called the AE coin, right? That is the UAE coin. And then the USD Universal, they are working to regulate AED, which is the dollars here in the UAE. So AED to USD stablecoin settlement rails, which I think has been important because, it's mostly all been in USD. And now that they finally, you get a euro stable coin and some other ones, I think eventually, Tiger, we're going to see like a worldwide digital Forex where it's trading only stable coins, right? And you're, pairing them against them and trading them and whatnot. Like I thought of that when the Ukraine Russia war broke out. I was like, dude, how do I get some digital rubles? Oh, you can't. Like, but I'd like to have some because I think I could do some arbitrage. Nope, doesn't exist. I was like, eventually they will, and we're getting there. Yeah,
we're on the way there as well, for sure. And connected as well with the OTC desk. You guys just opened this in the block. What kind of demand are you getting from people? I mean, even if the transfers and the transactions are done online, like a lot of people are still, and the old-fashioned want to see someone face to face before they do a big transaction, right? So, how has been the
Mm-hmm.
experience? How has been the expectations to what people feedback in general? Just seeing you
Yeah.
guys on the OTC desk.
Well, there it is right there. There's the OTC desk.
Beautiful.
That's actually now
Beautiful.
the crypto desk.
Oh,
Because
okay.
honestly, I think when people set up an OTC desk, at least some of the regulatory agencies are like, "What are you doing? Is this a money laundering thing?" And you're like, "No, it's a desk to help people, and plus, it's a trust builder." Like
Yeah,
when you have
exactly.
21 years of experience, I think it really builds trust. They want sometimes like, dude, I don't know if you've ever transferred even like a little bit of a Bitcoin, you always get that sort of crypto sphincter clench, that super pucker. You're like, oh God, I hope it gets there. Is it there yet? Ooh, 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 ooh. Like, so people who are wanting to trade, people who are wanting to trade AED for crypto or USDT to AED, all digital assets. It's not cash related. It's like they're like, oh, can I bring in a big pallet of cash? No, you cannot, because this is digital assets.
Yeah.
So if you want to connect your bank and convert, that's what you can do. So, a lot of times people don't want to smash a big, large order through a public book, because you get all that slippage, and it just, if there's not enough liquidity in there, it can just sort of hose you. And so that's really what it's built for. People who are, institutions, family offices, high net worth individuals, corporations, serious traders. That's really what it's all about. We have that crypto desk, though, to build trust. And it's all handled online. None of it's handled at that facility. It's all handled through the back end and through our compliant traders on the back end. But we just want to have a front forward face. That way people can know. And it's really cool because you can go in. We've had so many great conversations, so many, interesting things that have popped up as a result of us being in the community. Because I think, Tiger, if you are always up in the, ivory tower and you're never talking to people in a retail trading business, and we want to meet people. And so this is a great way to meet people in the public, which is very hard. And quite frankly, a lot of, crypto exchanges and stuff don't do that. They're not out there. They're not forward facing. And so that's really what we want to do, is we want to help people out and then help people understand it, and then connect them, answer their questions. So really, it's sort of a very friendly, compliant way to interact with the public and to help them build trust more so with us as we, build this thing out.
Yeah, that face-to-face relationship and that builds trust. I've been to a few IRL events, and I know you've done a bunch of keynote speaking and events. It's so important, regardless of the generation, even if the new ones are more digital. It builds the relationship. It's the customer experience. It's simpler. It's more flexible. It's just so important as well. I'm sure this could be very controversial in other countries. Like in Dubai, it flies by because they're more open-minded. But like an OTC desk on different countries could be a bit more of a challenge, I believe. But yeah, kudos for the OTC desk and building that extra relationship that you guys are with the users. Is it open
really
all the time?
Well, and you also think, wow, Dubai, the most crypto friendly place in the world. It's the most regulated, and they have the most legal sort of frameworks, and they're working on building those things out. And so that's why it's like they're not just letting anybody do this stuff. They're, VARA, which is the Virtual Asset Regulatory Agency here in town, is here in the UAE, is really working to figure out those frameworks. They're doing the best they can. It's really, I think we've left that pioneer phase of crypto. Institutions are in this thing, and so they want to make sure that they're doing it right. And that's very commendable, because pioneers get the arrows, and if you don't have your keys locked, can you imagine? You're like, all right, here we are, a big corporation. We got $70 billion in crypto. Oh, wait a second. Did you give the keys to Jimmy in IT? Oh, well, what happened to all our crypto? you got to make sure that you got to have regulation. You got to have a handle on those things, because you don't want Jimmy in IT running wild.
Yeah, no, and especially after all these exploits lately on DeFi mainly, and like people are just need that extra layer of trust and confidence that the where they're handling their assets and their money in general
Oh
is
yeah.
secure.
I'll tell you this. We are reaching a time with AI and the capabilities, especially with like Anthropic, with the Mythos
Yeah,
platform, this model that they haven't released yet. The, man, people have to lock down their security. I say this as somebody who worked, digital strategy at Norton Antivirus. You have to get your things locked down, because what's happening is even Claude Opus 4.7 is finding some vulnerabilities that have been missed, but Mythos is finding things at like a 50x more vulnerabilities. And so if this thing gets released in the wild, it's going to create some havoc. Now, you think, well, China's right behind. Some of these other countries are right behind. And man, if this is what's available now, what is out that we don't even know? Because a lot of times, militaries have some of these technologies way before anybody else. Like, we're getting to the point where like we're not ready. Like,
yeah.
it's, and then we got quantum computing.
I was just
coming
gonna say
right
that.
behind it. I mean,
Google's saying
like,
2029. I think it's gonna be sooner,
what?
and it's gonna be mayhem, mayhem.
We gotta get our shit together.
Yeah, no, Wolfman, it's going faster than ever. And switching gears a little bit from the fear and the and the quantum side of things, which, might be happening sooner than we think. Besides, obviously, the big announcement and having Khabib involved with MBIO. I mean, you met him in person. Share us a little bit more about the behind the scenes. How is the guy? 29-0, undisputed champion. Like, the guy's a legend. Discipline, consistency, all of this. But like, how is he really in person? And how was the partnership with MBIO?
Yeah, I've met him several times now, and the first time you're just like, all right, dude, this guy, look at this guy. What? And but he's very sort of, he's very disciplined, very serious. Although then when you get to know him, he's actually kind of funny. He's got a good personality. Right. He just remains stoic much, right? He's very devout in his religion. He's very sort of he does what he does. But what's cool is that I can tell that him and I now have a pretty decent camaraderie. Like, we did a commercial with him, and there's another video that we haven't released yet where we did a Khabib lie detector, and I literally interviewed him.
No way.
So you could see how he interacted in some of the footage, but then when he interacted with me, he's way more personable, way more sort of relaxed.
Let's go.
And I have met him, I don't know how many times. I have made him laugh twice, and a half chuckle. So 2.5 laughs I've made Khabib laugh, which I was pretty pleased with that. And when we were done filming, he shadowboxed with me. He acted like he was going to punch me. And I was like, he either hates me or he thinks I'm okay.
He's in confidence, Dude, that's scary as hell.
What's so funny though? One time we had a meeting with him, and I was back in America. This was like in December, and so we were scheduling a 4-hour video shoot, which we recorded all this stuff right here, and so originally we wanted to do just a 1-hour shoot at first, right? So we could, get and then have the other 4-hour one later. And so his handler or his business partner, Yarmit, was like, no, we need to do 4-hour one now. And because they're all Russian, right? And it's like, no, we really like to do the 1-hour one. He's like, no, Khabib wants to do 4-hour one now. We do 4-hour. Like, okay, we do 4-hour one. So then we were having a meeting, and we were like, yeah, Yarmit said you wanted to do only 4 hours. We wanted to do 1 hour. And he was like, oh, 1 hour. 1 hour sounds better. Why would I not want to do 1 hour? And we're like, what? And then we're getting to we had to finish with the conversation. He goes, hold on. And he goes, I think I don't want 4 hours. I think I only want 1 hour. And he was looking at me kind of laughing. And I said, don't you start with me, Khabib. Don't you start with me. And afterwards I was like, oh my God, I'm not dead. Like,
still alive. Yeah, no, I'm sure.
Once he would have said that if I was in a room with him.
Yeah,
he was laughing. He was laughing pretty big. I was like, that's good. He laughed. That was meant to laugh, not get angry.
I'm sure once he gets confidence, then he gets more loose.
Dude, I'm in my 50s. He would whip my ass so quick. He'd be like, "How quick can Travis tap out immediately? Oh no, don't touch me. Tap out."
It gave me a flashback from Mike Tyson's hangover punch to the
Yeah.
character Alan. I can't remember his name.
You know, I asked him that question. I asked him, so I got to interview him and ask him questions, true or false. I asked him about Mike Tyson. What did he think? Could he have beaten Mike Tyson in his prime? And he's got a pretty interesting answer to that. That's going to come out in a week or so, that video.
Oh no, man! I was ready for you to share. What are you talking about? Fine, okay, Alpha. Next week. Next week is coming up.
I think probably next week. Yeah, I believe we're going to launch it next week, and then the week after that, we're going to be in Istanbul. So I think we'll launch it next week.
Nice. Yeah, the partnership is a year or two, or is it longer with Khabib?
Well, he's an ambassador. That's one partner. That's one partnership, and there's another level to it where we're still working out all the details of how we're going to work together long term on, a potential JV partnership. We're still ironing it all out and crossing the T's and the dots and the I's and all of that.
That's awesome. Yeah, and having him with you guys on your corner, literally, it's massive. Tell us more about I wanted to know more on the MBG token as well. How does it benefit? I mean, it powers the whole ecosystem of you guys and the exchange. I believe it's 100% reduced fees. For anyone that is wondering, do you mind doing a quick TLDR on the token?
Yeah, for sure. So think of it like this. So Multibank Group is the entity, right? And we have the 4 pillars of the business with Multibank Group. So MBG is the global ecosystem utility layer for the Multibank whole group. And so it can unlock fee benefits. You can lend your MBG and then, get back interest from that, and a priority access, potentially launchpad allocations, ecosystem perks. And so that's really what it is. It's not just, crypto vibes. It's real world sort of tokenized real estate and treasuries and, commodities. And there's a lot of plans that's going through this, and MBG is really at the intersection of all of it. So it's not propped up by just emissions and gas fees and hope. It's wired into the business, and the more trading that happens in the whole Multibank Group, then that equals to the amount of tokens that are burnt from the ecosystem. So you know how Binance sort of burnt tokens over time, and now they only have like 100 and some odd thousand tokens from 1 billion. That's our aspiration as well, is how do we take it and burn through the trading? And so those are just some of the benefits. And there's a DAO on the way as well. So the community members are going to be able to vote on the direction of things moving forward. So a lot of exciting stuff happening.
Yeah, no, I saw you guys burn 8 days ago. You burned a big chunk of the MBG, and you're doing token buybacks as well. And obviously fueling every transaction inside the ecosystem. So yeah, for anyone that doesn't have MBG just yet, I don't know what you guys are doing. Definitely a no-brainer. A bit of the roadmap as well.
Not financial advice.
Obviously, not financial advice. But yeah, here's part of the roadmap. I wanted to ask about Ghana. Did you go to Ghana, or was it only Zach? Who else from the team went to?
Zach went to Ghana, as well as Alex Davis, who's the CEO of Maverick, who's our partner in RWA stuff. And they went there, and I was like, dude, I don't want to get no yellow fever vaccine. That's
a requirement, right? Like to fly. Yeah.
I was like, dude, I would love to go see this. That would be awesome. But I've seen the movie Coming to America. That was pretty cool. I don't need to go,
Send me photos.
I didn't want to get the vaccine. And then they're like, oh, and then we're wearing a tuxedo. They went to like a big thing. So it was really awesome. Very, very, honorable moment to go and be a part of the King of Ghana and his inauguration and whatnot. But realistically, the CEO, he went. He was the one who needed to go.
Yeah,
I didn't go. I wasn't part for me to go. I needed to stay here and do what I needed to do. And actually, he got back and he got sick for a couple of days. So I was like, dude, I was like, woo.
Yeah,
Man,
don't come to the
get
office.
better, bro. And don't come into the office
Yeah,
coughing or whatever,
exactly.
dude. I don't trust it.
Apart from the like sponsoring the event at the Palace, like you guys have now the gold option in the exchange, right? Like
It's in the process. It's in the process. So there'll be more details that
about.
come out as the more of the process gets revealed. But let's leave it at that. Gold is a commodity, and there will be some opportunities once everything gets all squared away in the regulatory world.
Man, I hate that you're not giving any alpha here, Travis. But we'll just have to wait then.
We gave some alpha, and then we got scolded. We're like, we need to be careful. Like, okay, we'll be careful.
Yeah. For which is your next event? I mean, you guys. It feels like you are hopping event to event every 2-3 days.
Dude, our next event.
Yeah,
this
what's the next
Friday.
One? Yeah. Okay.
Bitcoin Pizza Day. We're putting on an event at the street. Yeah. So, dude, our shirts are so cool. These shirts are freaking awesome. I don't even think there's the logo of the guy.
Yeah, there we go.
But so we have an orange shirt that matches our logo and Bitcoin. So we partnered with Pizza Dow. Shout out to Snacks. You know Snacks. He's awesome OG.
Yep.
And so we are the official Dubai location for Bitcoin Pizza Day, and we have a list on Luma. If you are in the UAE, go on Luma and find Bitcoin Pizza Day, MBIO. Type that in. That should pop it right up. And we are close to. Actually, I think we've already reached capacity. But if you're really cool and you say, "I saw Travis on the Blue Tiger show," then maybe we'll let you in. But everybody we got, man, I think we've ordered 60 or 80, 100 pizzas or something.
Cool.
And then I know we got 200 and some odd shirts. I mean, what's cool is they open up into a pizza box. The pizza box opens up and the shirt is in there. Pizza box goes into a bag. It's some of the coolest swag.
Yeah, good experience.
I tell you, I'm pretty stoked with it.
Really swag. Yeah, if they have I'm sorry.
Then after that, we're going to Istanbul Blockchain Week. So we have the big plan there. We have the biggest platinum sponsorship, and we've sponsored a bunch of stuff around that. And gonna go and reach out to Turkey, baby. Turkey, we are coming to you, and we want to meet. We're not there yet, but soon you'll feel it.
Man, I don't know how that became trending, but it's fucking horrible. It was so disruptive to read the first time, and it still is after I don't know how many years. Singapore, I'm inside of you, and Dubai.
Yeah,
like God.
You had to bring it there, bro. I don't know why you had to do that.
I don't know. It just came to my mind. I was like, I feel dirty now. I need to wash my hands.
Yeah, Istanbul. We are in Istanbul.
Great. Yeah. If anyone doesn't have a spot on the pizza, but you have a Kansas City Royals or Kansas City Chiefs hat, you are obviously immediately VIP into the pizza day in
if
Dubai.
You happen to be a fan of any of the, if you are a fan of either of those, let me know. I don't know, man. There's not a whole lot of Americans, period, in Dubai. It seems.
What?
I thought there was. Not a whole lot in the business world. It seems like there's probably some expats up in here, but not a lot.
I would have guessed US and UK in Dubai. Like that, I've never been to Dubai.
Way more UK.
Way more UK.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's weird. How often are you going back home? By the way,
not nearly often enough. Whenever I signed up the deal, I was like, all right, every 6 weeks, I'm gonna go back for 2 weeks, and they're like, yeah, great. And they're like, wait, we got things to do. And so I have not been back since Christmas.
Oh boy.
But
yeah.
I'm going back in June because I want to be there for Father's Day so I can see my kids, and I want to be there for USA 250.
USA 250? What is that?
That's July 4th, the 250th
anniversary
of
250
America.
This year? Sheesh.
America,
wait, man, that's also
fuck yeah. Say the motherfucking day, yeah.
That's also the middle of the World Cup. Like that's 1 week before the final in New Jersey. So, man, what a year for the States.
Oh yeah,
it's also been in Mexico.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've never seen the movie Team America. That is maybe the funniest, but at least the funniest puppet movie of all time. There's not a lot of puppet movies, but oh my god, that's one of the funniest movies ever to
Team
me.
America. I'll check that out for sure.
You never seen it? You never seen Team America? Oh my God,
So,
dude.
I don't think so.
Stop action puppets, dude, from the founders of South Park did it.
Yeah, I've seen them. Like I know what they are, but I've never seen these. I was
Dude,
thinking of the other one
so
with the
funny.
other toys. Forgot the name. Anyways, but no, okay, I'll definitely check it out. A couple more questions, and we can start wrapping up. Legends of the Ledger. Was it your idea, or Alfredo's, or how did these started with the big characters from history and adjusting it now with the AI
Yeah,
thoughts?
it's 100% my idea on this one. Well, here's the deal. So I read this book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill years ago. And in there, he talks about having a mastermind group that you can talk to, right? And so this is in his mind. So in his mind, he had like Abraham Lincoln and Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau and all these people. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. I actually know Photoshop. How about I create my own? And so I took a UN roundtable room, and then I kind of made it all cosmic, right? And then I started putting in my favorite people throughout time. And my thought was, eventually, I'll be able to take these and create these with holograms. I'll be able to be in a room and be able to keep. This was 2009.
Man.
I said, eventually, they'll have some sort of, intellect. What I'll do is I'll program it in with all their books and maybe their speeches or audios, interviews.
You saw yourself in the Jedi Council kind of hologram,
yeah,
like
it was
scenario.
100% like that. 2000. So I made my own Jedi Council.
That's where I'm brain now.
Yeah, and then I was working on Claude one day, and I had uploaded the photo of my mastermind group, and it said, "Whoa, this is amazing! We could do this now." And I was like, "What? We can't make holograms?" And it was like, "Well, we could connect it to the 11 Labs API." And I was like, "Ooh, we could." And so I created something called the Inner Nine. And what I have happen, Tiger, is every morning and every night, I have members of my mastermind group leaving me a 4 to 6 minute message about my day. Every morning, every night, I'll be like, "Hey, John Lennon here, Travis, blah, blah, blah."
No way.
And like, "I'm Princess Diana, and Travis, live with compassion. I'm Marcus Aurelius, Travis, a stoic would be blah, blah, blah." Like, so they're leaving me all
and in their voice as well. That's
100%
awesome.
as close to their voice as I could get it with 11 Labs, right?
That's awesome.
So then I was showing some people here at work, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's awesome." And then Will, who was the head of performance marketing, he said, "Dude, we can make those as ads." And I was like, "We can make those as ads." I was like, "Oh man." So then I went and I made Nikola Tesla and Benjamin Franklin and Leonardo da Vinci as the first three. And then we decided, oh my God, we could basically make all of these. And then we decided, oh, Legends of the Ledger, that was my idea. 21 of them, nod to Satoshi Nakamoto. And what's cool is now, man, our creative agency we're working with, shout out to Superside, we are going to do something so cool with these Legends of the Ledger. They showed me some mock-ups of what we could do, and I gave them some ideas. What if we could have like a little talk show, or me or two of them are interviewing themselves and having a conversation? Like, I think we're still working out all that it can be done. It's going to be, nobody's done anything like it. It's going to be super cool. And the Legends of the Ledger are going to live on in new creative ways.
That'll be crazy. I saw yesterday, I read somewhere, I don't know if it was, I think it was with Claude, like they're going to start creating robot podcasts, like two robots talking to each other in podcasts. And as interesting as that could be, I think it needs an added factor like that, like two big personalities, characters from history talking to each other, besides just two robots. Yeah, exactly.
So, it's really kind of like, if you've seen like those things like Chloe versus History or whatever. Have you seen that? Like some of those channels are like, hey, I'm up there vlogging like in Pompeii or something, And I was like, wow, what if Nikola Tesla is hanging out with us today? Like, what if Benjamin Franklin goes to our crypto desk at the block and he's like, oh, and have him sitting at the block answering questions? Like, dude, that'd be so cool. And so there's a lot of things I think we'll be able to do. It's just, man, with AI and with Higgs field And with the
Unlimited.
new ChatGPT Image 2.0, Nana Banana Pro, and then basically your own imagination, plugging your scripts in through Claude, connecting Claude through the MCP server to connect with Hicksfield, and you can just do so much now. Realistically, you showed that one video. Go to MBG Token Twitter.
The Twitter of
It's
MBG
at MBG Token. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Now look at this one right here. Did you show this video right here?
Yeah, I
Scroll
did
down.
earlier. This one?
Yeah. Yeah. And even scroll down a little bit farther. We have, so this, yeah, right there, up, higher, up. There we go. It's the second one, not that one. That's a fun video right there, actually. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
So we literally, like, with Hicksfield, able to create the most amazing content. This is like, all you got to do is, at this point, come up with a storyboard, come up with ideas, generate that first image, and then use ChatGPT Image 2 to give you additional frames. So basically, here's what I want it to look like. Let's get rid of all of that and just have him have his arm up. Then you can click it. Whoop. And so this was basically like 6 starting images that I used, and then I just manipulated over time to make this the full action video. And basically tells the story of MBG, which is the multi-bank global ecosystem utility token. Talks about all 4 pillars of it and what's going on. And then it lands, and then the little astronaut gets out and walks to MBG land.
Have you seen that it works better when you let them do it, like just tell them like be creative, or like when you specify more on the prompt and the details of how you want it? What has
it works way better. It works way better if you give it the first frame.
Yep.
And you tell it exactly what you want to do. So what I've done is become really proficient in creating skills. Mm-hmm. I've created skills for Claude. And so basically AI agents are one thing, but really you need to be programming these skills and have each skill doing its own thing. And so I've created a skill, which is basically, I have 2 skills. One is just a director brain, which basically makes sure that it gives the shots in the right way, using the right terminology for the shots and the pans and the zooms and the cameras and the camera angles and the camera lens types, right? And then I have another one, which is a script writer, which writes them ideally for CDance 2.0. Yep. And so going through this, so I created this, basically from scratch. Now, Jay on my team, Jay Valenzuela, he helped create some of those initial images. But the other one, the full one, the 2-minute one, which is the video above that one, the 16 by 9, that one right there, the one above that,
this one, yeah,
that one right there took me about 45 hours to do.
Holy what?
Yeah, well, I was learning. Basically, they said we need a video.
Oh, this is one of the first ones.
Yeah, they said we need a video, and I was like, and it was going to take like 6 weeks from our video team to do it, and I was like, dude. Hold on.
Like
let me figure it out. And so that was on Friday night. By Monday morning, I had the skeleton of this done. And then the rest of that week, we polished it. Then I waited a week, learned some more stuff, and then look at that. You flying by on this. This was like one of the first times. This basically tells the story of MBG and why it's so powerful as part of the ecosystem. And so it goes through here. So this wasn't so fun, like flying this thing. And this little, and once you learn how to take characters, keep the character reference, creating character reference sheets, creating character image object reference sheets, so the rocket stays the same through the whole time. This one's pretty cool as it's flying off, and you fly into the rocket. Right here's the.
I can see how proud you are of the creation.
This was so fun. Look how cool. Like, man, I'm not a video editor or videographer, dude, but nobody touched this but me.
I feel you. I feel that on another level as well. Like I started doing videos in Q4, and you don't really appreciate these kind of things or nothing that is very difficult.
Oh, that was a good transition right there. I like that transition stuff.
Or nothing. Yeah, wait, let me rewind.
Here it is. Okay. So he's gonna get ready. Here it is. Oh, it's coming down. It's gonna fly through the side.
I got a gold. Yeah.
There we go. And That was nice, dude.
Yeah.
That little transition right there. And now what's cool now is now he's gonna fly to the NBIO planet. Look at that. The rocket stays the same. Yeah, now it's flying. I just love that. Like, wow, like yeah, how long that would take on freaking After Effects to do, bro, or Premiere.
Yeah.
So here it is. The more we trade, the more we burn. Here's all the pillars. 50% of the supply will be burned eventually. TradFi meets DeFi meets RWA. And the sound is awesome. Like the sound, I got the Foley all correct, spent so much time getting that right. And then this is my little ode to Michael Jackson, like walking on it, and instead of creating the little Billie Jean squares, the little hexagons.
The level of detail. And yeah, like I don't think people appreciate it until they try to do it and they see like it's almost impossible. So yeah, kudos, man. I really get you on that level of how hard
That's what it is. It's about being a shit figure outer. I was like, I don't know how to do it, but I will figure it out.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's exactly what it was. I'll figure it out. And we figured it out.
Yeah, the first video I did, not this, like me recording myself, took me 12 hours. And then it obviously gets faster, but I appreciated way more video content creators and how the editing worked. And I know this was a huge project to do. So yeah, congrats, man. It's amazing.
For sure. Well, it's just fun, man. We're working on a cool
it's super
project.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah, you know, TradFi meets DeFi meets RWA meets crypto exchange, like in the ecosystem there. So having been in crypto for as long as I have, it's just like this one looks like it has a chance to be a big winner, especially if I'm able to bring in Alfredo, and then Alfredo's able to bring in his great team and great friends and connections and my other connections of doing all this. Like, man, we're building the Avengers over here, brother.
The American team, but not all Americans.
No, dude, I'm the only American. Alfredo's from Italy. He's Italian. I don't talk like this.
Man, I'm sure he's gonna be sad for 4 more years for not going to the World Cup. I can't believe it that they're not going. But anyways, two more questions, and then we start. 2 quick ones.
Sure.
Key milestones for NBIO. What are you most excited about? On what's next? What can you share? Spill all the alpha.
Yeah. Well, I would just say, we're continuing to keep building, the platform out, getting all the bugs squared away, learning more about what our users need, continuing to add new tokens into the ecosystem. Man, there's some cool stuff with AI capabilities. And so that's really exciting as well. Continuing to improve the current product and then adding new features. Really, once the RWA platform gets ready and we get all the licensing and everything on that is really exciting. Deeper, RWA access, stronger fiat stablecoin rails. I think there's a lot of opportunity with the AED to and the new USD with the universal token and the AE coin. Hopefully we can figure out some partnerships on that. And just the whole world. I think as we are building this thing out and we take it from, where we are and then the MBG token, these are just aspirationals. What I think makes sense when multi-bank group is doing, several $100 million a year or a year in revenue and trading in billions of dollars a day, right? It's almost like, why shouldn't MBG eventually become a top 20 token, right? So that's kind of aspirational, not financial advice, just kind of as a goal. It's like it would be really nice. I wouldn't have come to Dubai if I didn't believe that this has what it takes, and I think it does. And the leadership is really strong. Zach, the CEO, is really strong. His father, the head of the whole multi-bank group, Nasser, dude's genius. He's built some amazing stuff over time, and so just really excited to help this thing roll full scale.
Man, super excited. Yeah, you guys are cooking so many things. Super excited for what's next. For anyone that hasn't been involved on NBIO, what do you think is the easiest way or the best way to get involved? Download the app, follow the socials, obviously. What do you recommend?
I would recommend to go to nb.io and download the app. If it's available in your region, go ahead and snag it and get started. and just to see how it works. There's some cool stuff going on, and multi-bank group has the full CFD side of things, all the sort of trading stocks and commodities and forex and all of that, and then MBIO is the crypto arm. And so we're actually looking for some really strong affiliates. So think about this: Binance and OKX and all of these had really big affiliates, and now they've gotten big. Well, we're very small in our beginnings as it comes to a crypto exchange. So if you get in as an affiliate and you're successful, I will say that that would probably be pretty good for you. I'm not making a recommendation for you to become an affiliate, but if you want to, let us know.
Yeah, for sure. Huge opportunity there as well. I was looking for this map with the. I was staring at it for longer than I'm proud of. This one, when you mentioned cool? To check if it's in your country, man, it's so good. I was like, I need to follow all
the
of them.
Licenses that, the license regulations that multi-bank group has. Incredible. And I think I've been pretty compliant in all of my words. So hopefully, Courtney doesn't come down on me. I didn't say something I wasn't supposed to.
Man, you did. I was hoping you were going to say more alpha, so I don't think she's going to come on your ass. Maybe next time.
All right. I was trying to be compliant as much as possible. I don't want any compliance.
Yeah, just one last question, Travis. For anyone building anything big, has a big idea, very ambitious goals, what do you think is your best advice for them?
Man, stay curious. Build. Just do it. Don't be scared. Don't confuse delusion with vision. Big ideas can be real if you believe in them and you work on them and you explain it simply and you earn trust. You don't betray your community out there, and keep shipping. Don't be going after the applause. Go for shipping products that's valuable. That do something for yourself. Maybe there's a problem that you can find. Like, man, if I had this would be awesome. Build it. People will tend to lean into things that help them solve a problem. So I think just build it, then name it. Most, founders try to name a category before they built a product. And here I am saying that as I've named the fourth web, but I have built a product with that. Yeah. You can actually go see it at wire.fourthweb.ai. I've literally synthesized the news, put it all together, cluster all the like articles, rewrite each story based on all of the, clusters, all the articles in that cluster, create it. Yeah. So look at the very top, click on Wire.
Wire. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I saw the Twitter the last time we were in spaces together that you do got like the AI graphic, the graphics are AI generated, and you have
but they banned us. Twitter banned us for a while. We got it back. They suspended it. Yeah. It was just ridiculous. Man. So, yeah, I don't know if that link's not working or whatever, but I do need to get my AI agent back up, my OpenClaw, because I just recently moved, and so I need to. I'm going to connect it back tonight. So there hasn't been any new articles in the last day, but yeah, click on all those are all auto generated. Some of them are really cool images. So I run it through a skill. It gives me a really good headline. Gives me a really good image for them, goes through, here's the summary, here's the implication, here's what it means, here are the sources. So it's been really fun. It helps me keep track of all the news, but that's just something that I had an idea about. And I said, how can I make this work? And if you don't know how to do it, what I do is I will have Claude open and I will have Perplexity open. And whenever I have a problem in my code, I'll go ask Perplexity, why did it do this? What's the solution? It'll give me a solution. I'll take it back over to Claude, run it through, and keep building it, because you don't have to know the answers. You just have to know where to find the answers. Perplexity will help you find almost anything you want, although it's gotten really shitty at trying to find promo codes. Now, you know who's great at promo codes? ChatGPT is good at promo codes now. The new version of ChatGPT has found promo codes every time Perplexity could not find promo codes. So I think what happened was some of these promo code companies or something said, hey, stop giving away our promo codes or something. Don't be giving, don't be giving the alpha out. But man, I found one the other day. It saved me 25% off of something, saved me like $100. I was like, dude, that's like 5 months worth of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Man, so I guess that'd be my hint for you. Build shit. and then use ChatGPT to find promo codes so you can save money, so you can actually pay for your ChatGPT.
For free. Yeah, no, great advice. I completely agree. Stay curious, build your version of the Jedi Council, keep asking 1,000 times what ifs like you do, and stay curious. Keep experimenting, keep failing, keep building. Travis, holy shit, man, it's been an honor. What a show. Anything else that you want to add before we close the show?
I think it's good. I just kind of look at it like this. The first 3 webs changed what you could do online, and now the 4th web has changed who does it. And so think about that. Now you can read, write, own, and the web can be built for you. You just have to have the vision to tell it what to do. And don't be afraid to ask your AI to ask you. When you tell your AI to ask you questions to clarify what it is you're trying to build, you can then tell it to ultra think, or you can tell it to plan before it's building. You build yourself what's called a PRD, a product research document, which basically becomes a roadmap. Build that together before you're building anything else, and just kind of help it lead you. Because a lot of times you might not have all the answers, but if you get it to ask you, then you can work with it to make something spectacular.
Yeah, no, I just started that a few weeks ago. Like, what do you need from me? And like, you give all the context and all the references they need, and they work way faster and way better for you, with you. So yeah, great advice as well for people that were not doing it backwards or reverse engineering it. Awesome. Travis, again, it's been an honor. Thank you for being on the show. We'll definitely run it back one day. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you to the audience out there who tuned in, and all the people, so many people. Thank you.
Yeah, big shout out to everyone that tuned in. Appreciate you all. We'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.